There's a story about a rich dad and a poor dad. And the poor dad worked hard all of his life, worked through rain and water and fire, blood, sweat, and tears. And he made it all of his life. Made things good for his family the best he could, best to get by. Always had bills, seemed to always have something that they couldn't pay for and they couldn't buy, they couldn't afford. And their kids, Daddy, can we get this? And Mommy, can I get this new doll? Mommy, please. And Mom says, no, honey, we can't afford it. And all their life, they're going through not being able to afford anything. What they wanted, I mean, they get things as they could through the years, and some are more poor than others. And so he grew up poor, working hard, making the best of what he had to work with. He was a poor dad, and they were happy. You know, they get fusses and fights and stressed out sometimes. And they'd get together and do things together and spend time together and work together and have fun. The poor dad, he believed in working alone. If you don't do it, son, it won't get done. If you don't do it, it won't get done right. You got to do it yourself. You got to get out there and make it happen. You got to work on your own. You got to work alone, because somebody else will mess it up on you. Or somebody else won't know how to do it right. Can't do it like you can. Not like you know how you can do it. He's a poor dad. And he grew up, didn't have money for college, couldn't take his girlfriend out, barely buy her an ice cream at Dairy Queen. And the poor dad told his son, you've got to get out and get a job. You got to work as many hours as you can, get that paycheck, punch that time clock. And there's a rich dad. The rich dad grew up with food in the cupboard, big high fancy shelves, big beautiful kitchen for his wife. Their bathroom looked like a living room, and they seemed to have everything that they wanted. The refrigerators were full. They have 2 freezers and 2 refrigerators and a big ice box in the garage. 4-car garage. Each kid had their own room. The rich dad worked hard too, and he built a company with people, a corporation. And he worked together with other people, and they built something together. Band together with people that had his talents and his like interest, taught him how to do stuff, found out how to do stuff by talking to people, by working together as a team, and by putting forth the efforts of a fact that you can have and be anything that you want to be and anything that you want to have together with other people. You take their dreams and their talents and put their heads together and come up with ideas, and they're sharing ideas all the time and how they can make things better, how they can make life better. They're always looking up. There's always possibilities. The sky is their limit. There's nothing that they can't do. There's nothing they can't accomplish. No place they can't go. Because they can do it together. And he had a rich dad and a rich life. Even though money is not always wealth, yet it gives possibilities, it gives choices, it gives freedom. Because I'm telling you, when you owe people things, it's like you halfway belong to them. Because they own a little part of your life. They own a little piece of you because of what that you've bought from them. and still owe them. The encouragement here, man, I'm telling you, I've grown up poor most of my life. My dad was a builder, and I grew up working with him in the shop. He built this place in his later years. He and his mom's dream home. Never got to finish. I stayed gone most of the time, and my wife and I drew apart through the years. We had a really good 3 years of marriage. I'll have to tell you about that sometime. It was great. And, we lasted about 10 years together and went our separate ways. Dad's health was failing, and told my mama, let me come home. I'll help you guys out, and I'll just find a job close to home. Well, my dad says, well, son, why don't you help me here with the building, and I'll pay you a little bit for it. I said, well, all right. So Dad and I went into business together, and a year later, he passed away. So I was looking for work and found a little something online, and health products. It was great, really good stuff. Mama still uses it every morning. She gets up and has her cup of liquid nutrition and loves it here to this day, and it's great. For me, I don't know, maybe it's what I did before I started online, working at home. And some people are rewarded for what they did before they started working at home, and other people are punished for it. Gracious, I'm telling you, I feel like that I was punished for it, for what I did before I started working at home, and punished just by not knowing what to do, not knowing how to sell things or how to talk to people. Been kind of shy most of my life anyway. And so we bought, they said that you get up to a diamond level and you can earn 50% commissions. So I did. Well, all right, let's do that. So we got up to diamond level, spent $2,000 worth. We still got stuff in the basement and cases of health stuff still down in the basement. And growing up, I remember thinking of growing up struggling and barely making it. And I says, why am I barely making it still? I've got to get out of this. Tired of living this way. Tired of remembering staying gone. My wife and I had to work. I had to work 50 hours a day. I had to work 50 hours a week. 50 hours a day. Seemed like it. I had to work 50 hours every single week just to pay the bills. We did up our budget plan, and it calculated to 50 hours. And that would take care of the bills. So $51 hours would put a little cash in my pocket, in Brenda's pocket, and 52, 55, 60 hours would give us some spending money. We could buy some things that we needed, a little extra, and go out to dinner, go out to a nice date night and have some fun, out to a movie, to a nice activity, go out and have fun together. Spend some money going out, playing games and things. So that was our spending money. We could rent a little canoe or something for a nice date night out together. It was 60, 65 hours a week. But by all those hours, we barely had time together, and I was exhausted on the weekend. So you wonder why people are gone all the time. They're working their life away. And I knew that there had to have been something more. But all of these memories were going on through my mind and through my thoughts of all of this and being gone all the time. So I'm done with that. And there's got to be a way. I see this working for people. But I'm telling you, I struggled that year trying to make a business at home and trying to build that. And I finally ran across something that people work together. And it's something that helps people, that people need. It works. It's a relief. Finally something that pays the bills, that actually you can see yourself pulling out. and you can see the sunrise. You can see light at the end of the tunnel. And a relief, finally I'm making it. Finally I'm getting out of this. I can actually get a new car. I can actually buy things for Mama and make her years good, while the way that she made life good for us. She made life really good. She made things good for us kids. I'm going to leave this with you. The sky is your limit, and that you may have looked and been burned by people before, and you may be looking into working at home for your first time. I don't know. But I had to decide one time, just looking at the computer and thinking, man, I've got to buy. Because if I don't, I'm just going to stay where I am, and I'm not going to go anywhere. But I had to pull out. I had to do something and go somewhere that I've never been. I had to stop doing what I was doing and get up and do something different. And I had to click that button, and I had to buy and see what happened. And I'm really glad I did. And I wish you the best, and I look for your dreams to come true there for you in all that you hold dear.